Hello, my name is Angela Shallow. I'm the founder of SWAN, Strong Women Arise Network. Today we are at the Women at Risk International Headquarters, or WAR Boutique, and we are talking with Becky McDonald, the founder of WAR. So Becky, thank you for being here today, and I would love it if you'd share with us a little bit about your story and how you got started in this industry of fighting for the victims of human trafficking.
Probably it began many years ago when I was a 5-year-old in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and my family moved to the land of East Pakistan, where my father was a surgeon and there was a humanitarian hospital there. And I had the greatest privilege in the world of growing up in East Pakistan, which today is known as Bangladesh. And by the age of 14, we'd been through 2 wars, and the war at age 14 was a civil war. And we stayed through both of those wars so that my father could provide medical care. My girlfriend was attacked and raped during that war and fought back. And to teach her that she had no right to fight back, she was property, and not all Muslim contexts are like this, but her community was extremely conservative Islam. They told her, you have no right to fight back, you are bought and sold in a marriage contract. And to take away her voice, they poured acid not in her face, as is usual to this day, but down her throat. And she never spoke again. And that acid of her suffering really burned a hole in my heart and set me on a pathway of being the voice of the silenced and just giving them a safe place where they could rewrite the story of their life. And so today, Women at Risk is in 55 countries. And we address 15 risk issues, but we are most known for our fight against human trafficking, which is what all this product is, anti-trafficking.
Tell us a little more about the scope of the problem when it comes to human trafficking.
So human trafficking is the fastest growing crime. It's growing faster than guns and drugs. It will soon outpace guns and drugs. And it is just about money. It's good business. And so it is a wildfire. It is huge in America. I did not realize that. I mean, we started Women at Risk internationally, and then many years ago, Homeland Security called our offices and came into my life. And I discovered then that America has one of the biggest problems. We have in our borders American citizens, 300,000 minors. It's just the minor statistic. Children who are at risk in this nation of human trafficking inside our borders. American citizens with constitutional rights, and very few people talk about it. And this is a carnage of the innocent. This is our future, and this is a cry from me to you and to us to circle our cradle. So internationally, there's an issue, and we are the 3rd highest country in the world for a destination. So there's roughly 20,000 people that are believed pre-COVID that are brought here, but within our borders we have these minors. At that point, we started doing our civilian first responder training, our 8-hour training days, where we talk about the 15 demographics, the things that draw the eye of a trafficker to a community. Grand Rapids has 12 of them. Holland has 13 of them. I will be speaking in Chicago this weekend, and they have 14 of them. And so we tailor that to each community that we're in. 22 lures, 21 signs, and we bring in survivors so that people can understand how to see it, what to do, what not to do, and how to share this with their circle of influence in an age-appropriate way.
Wow. And so what kinds of programs do you offer that support those who are at risk of being trafficked or who have been trafficked?
So every story is different, and each person needs a different set of things. And you know, when they're curled up in a fetal position after what's happened to them, they need 18 different things. And so we operate like an umbrella in the sense that we pull all those things in. So we pull in pro bono lawyers, we pull in a pro bono tattoo artist that removes the tattoos that have been branded on them. We pull in counseling, we pull in job training, child care, stitches, whatever's needed, we provide that. So each person's action plan or aftercare plan is different depending on their story, what got them in trouble, what their needs are. Some people need job training, some people need we've sent people to college, and we've graduated doctors and lawyers and engineers and school teachers and nurses and goat herders and cosmetologists, really whatever their dream is. And that's my favorite question to ask them: what do you want to be when you grow up? Because our commitment is to do for them what we would do for our own. And I had a woman here say, I've learned never to dream, right here in Grand Rapids. And I said, start now. So unfortunately, we are rescuing children as young as 3 weeks old. And if they're children, obviously overseas, they're in an orphanage. In America, they go into the foster care system. But if they're adults, we're getting them job training. So the aftercare plan varies depending on the person. But we've been involved in helping start safe houses all over the world, and even in America. And so whether we actually start it ourselves or we consult on how to do that, so depending on the problem, we step into that.
And of course, I know the beautiful products that we see here are part of that aftercare program as well. Can you tell us how that relates?
Yes, so there's really 3 kinds of product and 3 ways to fight trafficking, and all our product falls and our programs fall in those categories. One is you rescue a person, what we call curative, where you rescue a person who's in trouble. You identify that she's there or he's there against their will, and you help them out. You must, if they're an adult, give them a way to support themselves right away, or they'll get re-scammed. You can't just rescue someone and then send them on their way. 90% of the women that get picked up in a police raid in Cambodia and sent home without job training get resold. So we have products that are made by rescued men and women. And then there's the preventative program. So if a person is in the crosshair of the trafficker, something about their at risk, something about their story says they're exponentially at risk, then we're going to pull them into our preventative programs. And many of our products are preventative that help give them a way to make a living. They may need counseling. They definitely need a way to support themselves, and wraparound services. And then the third way is supportive, and that's a few products that we have that are supportive, like books that are academic. They're not written by a survivor, but that's what we do. Our role in our program is to be supportive, to come alongside and to be that circle of protection, which is our mission, and give them a safe place to rewrite the story of their life.
You say rewrite the story of their life, and I think the pearl is such a beautiful example of that. Is that something you could share?
Yes. So one of our signature pieces is the pearl pendant, and I love it that our women wear. All our pearls are real, and I tell them they're like the pearl. That little clam is sitting in the bottom of the ocean, minding its own business, and along comes an unfair attack. And it has 2 choices. It can wrap it in layers and layers and layers of beauty and create a pearl of great price, or it can fight it and be a mutant. And we as men and women and children have 2 choices when life attacks us. And we can wrap it in layers of beauty and elegance and dignity and turn around and say, what can I do for somebody else that wasn't done for me? And we have thousands of stories of people who have been rescued who turn around and use that brokenness to help other people. And that's truly a pearl of great price. Or we can fight it and be a mutant. And we all know people like that, don't we? And so I love it that our women are putting their lives back together, and they're taking their attack and they're wrapping it with how can I help someone else? And we just walk that journey with them every day at their own pace, in their own way, unconditionally helping them start over. And I don't care what gets a person in trouble. I don't care if they made a mistake and it spirals south, or if it's through no fault of their own. If they want out, we help them out. And so the product here in the store is just examples of ways that they make a living, and it supports their salary and helps them learn a trade. In many cases, they can work at home and put their life back together. One of my favorite products is this bag here. It's made in a factory in India by men and women who have either been set on fire or have AIDS and are thrown away. And all these stories, so this is Myrna, 55, Nicaragua. These are real people. Their name, their age, Chloe, 3, United States. These are true stories, and these are the names, the ages, and the countries that they're from. And this is a preventative product because it's helping these people who are thrown away make a living and rewrite the story of their lives. And so it's just an example of some of the products that we have here. Every single thing here has a story. There's no such thing as an earring or a bracelet. It's all a story. In fact, when you purchase it, you get a story card that tells you something about the program that it came from. And so our passion is to help them rewrite their story, put their life back together, learn to make a living while they dream that dream, and help them fulfill that dream and be their voice until they find their own voice.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for the work you do. Just greatly appreciate that you step out and serve in such a meaningful way.
It's meaningful, it's hard work, but it's super meaningful, and thank you for helping us be their voice until they find their voice, because that's our passion.
If you would like to hear more from Becky on this topic, please join us at SwanCon. She's going to be one of several amazing speakers sharing her knowledge, and it's sure to be a day filled with inspiration, education, and connection that will be of huge value to you. But additionally, that event doubles as a fundraiser so you can contribute to the work that's being done to fight against human trafficking. So please take a moment to register. The link is attached to the video, and we look forward to seeing you there.